What's going on, YouTube? We're going to do some practicing today because I think I discovered something new that as I'm working on ideas for Legend Bowl 2, I think I discovered something that I wanted to share with you guys to see what your thoughts are on it, and also kind of just to do a video. I guess I'm back to doing YouTube videos again, which feels good. And, you know, because I'm working on a new version of the Legend Bowl game, I might be, I'm thinking about it, is I'm back in the lab and it's football season. And football season is when I get motivated to work on football games, and actually when I feel good about messing with football rosters and everything. And it's just that time of year, right? For you guys, for everyone. And again, if you guys don't have the game and you're new to the channel, it's out on PC and all the consoles, the original Legend Bowl. College Bowl, I get a lot of questions about College Bowl, and specifically when it's coming to consoles. And it's currently being developed and ported for consoles. I just submitted a build for certification on Xbox. That doesn't mean anything, but I am, working on it, and it's in progress. So we'll see how it goes. But I think I'm gonna be able to get something out there working on the port by myself. But I also, I can't give you a timeline or any kind of definitive, window to expect it. But obviously the earlier the better, because we already are in the season and the full swing of things, and I want to get the game to as many people as possible. And so anybody who's been asking about consoles, there's your update. I know a lot of people are interested in it, but it's just a matter of when we can get things, enough information and dates to kind of post. And there's trailers you got to do. There's store page things you have to get out there, and it's a lot. It's a lot of work, more work than I anticipated, but it is moving. And Legend Bowl, we're gonna look at a little bit of practice stuff here because I want to share with you some things. So I have some ideas that I've been working through for Legend Bowl 2. I did my video last time, if you watched it, where it was a long, rambling type of video, but I just wanted to kind of share with you guys what I'm thinking and what goes on behind the scenes when it comes to, releasing a new game, and, how do you want to make it different, and so there's just a lot of information that I kind of just goes through my brain every day, and I want to share with you guys. But in this video, we will be going through something that I've been playing around with, and I put it on the Discord this morning, and we'll see what you guys think. But I wanted to show you in person. So let's jump into a game. But before we actually do anything, I wanted to kind of share with you guys a video, and I'll probably put a link in the description below, so you guys can look at it if you want. But back in the day, for those of you who've been around for as long as I have, you probably were, around during the retro days, right? When we had Super Nintendo, Genesis, all of the consoles that came after that. And, those games basically did things different, right? They were pixel art, and they were 2D, obviously. But one thing that, as I'm thinking about Legend Bowl, one of the things that hit me yesterday was the speed of the old games, like Tecmo Bowl, Tecmo Bowl 1, 2, 3, the Super Tecmo Bowl, all those games, plus, the other games that are out there. And I wanted to play a video for you guys so you guys can actually see the way those games played, right? And so let me just get that going for you, and then we'll jump back and forth. So if you think about the games back then, they all, like I said, they all basically, they all were slow, and they actually let you feel the game. Like they let you experience the game in a different manner. It wasn't so much about being fast and crazy. And when I was playing Legend Bowl the last couple of times, like when I did the stream with Sean and even last video, I felt very I felt very frustrated because the gameplay was just so crazy. Like it was just too fast. You couldn't really feel the controls very well. Like yes, you can play the game, and yes, it's, you know, if somebody who's really quick, they might enjoy that more. Just like Madden has those sliders out there, right? You know, there are people that might like that better. But if you think about the old 2K games, especially when it came to 2K5, that game was slower, and they had the three different speed levels you could adjust. I always liked the normal. I know people who do rosters, they always would push them to fast, the game speed, but I liked the normal speed because it felt slower, just like all pro football. The controls just felt better. The way that you tap the sprint button and the charge buttons, you feel like you could just have more control. You can take some more time to look around in your progressions. There's just a lot that you can do, and because I'm not putting on the marketing hat yet and the business hat yet. I'm really trying to see what, as a fan of the game, right? Because I am a huge fan of football, especially the NFL. And as a fan, as I'm playing this game, I really want the game to be better. And I'm almost, which is not, it's not great, but I just want to focus right now on what's going to make this game better. And as a fan who likes to play football games where there are not really many options, what can the game do to be a better game? And obviously, that starts with the on-field, right? And I said to myself yesterday, I'm like, why don't I turn down the speed of the players and also the ball speed? Like, don't let them throw so hard, because it's kind of cheating if you can still throw it just as hard when the guys are not moving as fast, because you can you can hit anybody, right? So there's some adjustment there that has to happen with the ball speed. And I don't use, for those of you coders out there, I don't use delta time. So the game's going to just have to be slowed down in a different way, right? So if I slow down the ball speed and the player speed, then the result of that, the net result, is going to be a more strategic, slower game. So if we if we flip on over to the, excuse me. If we flip over to the video I was talking to you about earlier, this is a list of all the Super Nintendo videos that are football games that have come out. I guess it's a compilation of every single football game for Nintendo. And if you look at them, they're slow. Like, every single one of them moves at a slower rate. And let's just watch these, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Personally, I know people have told me this. I'm not a fan of the whole, like, fake 3D with the field kind of slants, or it slants kind of like that. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think that looks pretty cheesy. I know why they did it, and I get that you get to see more, more of the field, but I don't like it. I'd rather have my game be the way it is, to be honest, because it distorts a lot of the pixels. And when you're talking about good quality artwork, you don't want to do that. You want to keep the game pixel perfect, so every pixel looks clean. And but in my game, I zoom out, and when I zoom out, it actually does distort the pixels. So I guess, people also talk about horizontal view, which this game I've never played before. It actually looks pretty decent. It's called Football Fury. And if we go back to that real quick, let's take a look at that again, because that game, to me, it actually looked decent. Like, the graphics, if you look at it, it didn't look that bad. And but even with the side scrolling, I might want to take a look at this closer, actually, but maybe we might look at that in a minute. But it's called Football Fury in 1993. But even on here, when you look at it, there's not a lot of room for seeing the receivers, right? So I don't know how they do it in here. I might need to pull up another video to check that out, but we'll keep going. So the next game, obviously Madden. There are a lot of Maddens, because Madden was coming out every year. This was the start of it back in these days, and they started to come out with new versions. And here's 93, and they just showed 91 before. But like I said, I don't like. But if you look, the reason why we're looking at this is, look at the speed. Now, the field is small, That's another thing too. They have smaller fields. It looks like the dimensions aren't as wide. When I built Legend Bowl, it was pretty real to real life dimensions. So even like the 40s that people would run, I tried to make everything in the game feel as close to real life. But I'm also taking a different look at it now. I'm taking a different perspective of what is fun and what feels good. Even though I love sim and I threw everything that I wanted to that was of the sim, you know, fabric or whatever, you know, that didn't always translate well. Like I actually added the ability for the game to just go from huddle to the bench to the players go back and forth. The referee runs around. Like if you just leave the game and look at it, it's a full simulation. There's no warping. There's no jumping from one scene to another, like the line of scrimmage to the, to when the play ends. Like all that stuff is all being done in real time, which was very, 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 very difficult to pull off, and it also created these bugs sometimes because you have to account for every single situation, and when you're doing it live like that in a full simulation, it just increased the scope of my game, and I wish I never did that, but that was a trap that I fell into because I wanted the game to be simulation, and because I leaned so hard on simulation, I feel like I lost some of the secret sauce that would make a game feel great around across the board. And these games back then, they were fun games. They were games. That's why they're called games. They felt like more arcadey. They weren't like NFL Blitz, and they weren't just unrealistic, but they felt slower. Like if you watch all these guys, even this one, that one was faster. But look at Super Play Action Football. This one shows this. Look at the ball speed, the way the guys are running. It's not very fast. And even Tecmo Bowl, look at this. Like this is Tecmo Super Bowl, but you can watch the players as they move. And again, the field is smaller, so that is something. But if you look at the way the players, how they move across the field, they're slow, and it gives you time to react, right? And I also like the way that Tecmo Bowl had the players progression, like the actual receivers, like the way like you could go from one receiver to another. You cannot just push any button and pick any receiver like you have 10 different eyes as a quarterback. No, like in those games, you had to pick your progression. I actually like that. And if you slow the game down, that's where that type of a system works better, right? And so there are things that I'm thinking about, and it's not about taking away the simulation. It's about making a really, really solid game. Okay. And I'm going to try to look up Football Fury real quick and see if I can see that game in its totality, because that game looked, I've never heard of that game. And back when I was younger, it must have not been very popular, but let's take a look. And one thing I'm also trying to do as well is I'm also trying to figure out UI, because as much as I don't want to work on UI, I'm going to probably have to make some changes to the UI. I don't know. I can't have the game be released where people think it's the same game with just an upgrade. It can't be that. And that's the unfortunate part about releasing games and developing games, is you kind of have to make it feel new. So I have been looking at UI examples to kind of see what ideas look good, but I also don't want to do all the work that it takes to just redo roster screens, right? I definitely want to do franchise mode in a deeper way. I want to make it more immersive. I want to make it more about storylines. I want to there's so much I can do. I mean, it's ridiculous how much I want to do, like drills and, pregame, like weekly, like planning. There's so much you can get into. My franchise mode is pretty simple. But that in itself, I want to do, and that's the meat. Like, so if I'm talking about making, just a better quality version of my game, these are all the things that I'm thinking about, but there are going to be things that I need to make sure that I kind of don't like forget about, because the game won't sell as well, right? Like people are going to be like, oh, it's the same game. I might as well just, move on. So this is the Football Fury game. I guess this guy's kind of going through the menus here, which those don't look very good. But if you look at this game, I want to see a pass. They keep running the ball. Let's see if we can get a pass in here just to kind of. Okay, so they don't even get to see. So that worked very similar to Legend Bowl. Like you have, the players' icons show up and they don't even zoom out, which I actually like that better. So in Legend Bowl, if we can kind of go back to where we were, to the actual game here, and if you look at this game, let me look at the settings real quick, because what I actually like, I like QB vision to be legend because that keeps the camera down. It doesn't allow any zooming out, which I actually enjoy that, which mimics what we were just looking at with that Football Fury game, right? All right, so I have the game running on slower mode. I'm playing with the NFL mod, obviously, that I showed off the last time, and you can already see the players are slower, right? And this is a running play, and I actually have it at 75% speed. So, look at those moves. Like you can actually pull off moves better. And the game, to me, even though it looks slow, and even though it's like, wait a second, what's if you're used to the original game, then you're probably going to feel like the game's just running slow. But I actually am enjoying this. Like you can actually see, like even now when I do passing, the pocket's gonna need some work, right? Like those guys, look at that. It just feels more, you just feel the game more, right? And if I replay it, this pocket, the way that they all just blasted through, like that can happen sometimes. I really want to get the pocket to be so much better. And trust me, I worked a lot on the offensive and defensive line interactions, but there's so much more that can be done with the gameplay. And if I can get that pocket to just look better, maybe give the quarterback a little bit more time. But that's also, it's also a slippery slope because you have to make sure that it balances well. So when you have a really good defense, you don't want the offensive line to always feel good, right? So you want some teams to have a good, pass blocking or run blocking, or the defense to be a good pass rush or, running better at the run with the line. And so you have to make sure that you're accounting for all those things. So I can make it work really well for one situation, but to make it work for everything, that's where the challenge comes in, right? And if you look at this pocket, it's a straight bull rush. Like all those guys got wiped out. Literally every single guy, every single lineman on here. Now, I can look at the stats and you're going to see some people that are pretty good, right? Now, Pittsburgh has a really good defense with this roster. Those are all 80s. These are 91, 90, 98 overall, 94. So it makes sense that they're going to bulldoze, right? They're going to bulldoze through, but I still don't want it to be that overpowering, right? I don't want the quarterback to run all the way backwards like this. I'd rather have it to where it's a pocket. Now, let's go back to, let me go back to the SNES game. So if we look at this game and we look at the pocket in this game, nobody's getting through. Like you got a guy who blitzed, if I slow it down, you got a guy who's blitzing on the bottom. Let me slow the game speed down a little bit. I do like half. There's, I swear one of these guys, it's either going to be it's this linebacker here. He came around and he blitzed. But all of these guys are stuck. Now, do I love that? No, I don't love that. I want to see some, some interior, I want to see some guys break through the interior, right? I want to see a dynamic defensive line that's going to give the quarterback some pressure. And it looks like right now the game, basically you see blitzes that are happening. And this isn't a perfect game. This is just a random example. Right? So going back to the actual Legend Bowl game, if you look at the pocket, you know, they're coming through like animals. But what's cool about it, so, you know, I have time to throw. For some reason, you know, I guess because the cornerback there's nobody behind him. You know, he's choosing, this guy right here, he's choosing to lay off a little bit because he could have tried to attack that ball. But if he missed, right? Let me zoom in a little bit. If he missed the play, that receiver could be gone, right? But you're still kind of seeing, you know, you're seeing the game play pretty tight. This is a man defense, right? And all the receivers are really, really well covered. And I kind of got lucky there. But I also had more time, even with a full blitz, or at least great pressure. I mean, they were coming with a all-out blitz. I mean, look at everybody. I mean, they even had this safety coming through, and even with that, I had some time, right? Even if I run that in real time, man, I had way more time than I normally do, and it makes the game easier, right? But it also, you know, that's one of the things that people complain about, and I normally don't like looking at reviews because they're really negative. And a lot of people don't even understand the game. They play it for about an hour or two and they have their impressions based on their limited time with the game. Like even that pass there, normally I wouldn't even have enough time to get the ball out, right? And it just feels like I actually have more time. And so, like, I want to know what you guys think. I mean, I'm sharing this because I'm excited about it, and I love this game, and I want it to just get better. Even with the quarterbacks, the way that this game works is I slow down the pass meter, like the QB pass meter. If you're a really good quarterback, you're a highly skilled quarterback, I slow down the meter. But that's also a bad thing I've been noticing because it takes more time for you to get the ball out of your hands. So I know it's easier for accuracy, but there's got to be a better way. Maybe like I make it fast and then it slows down as you get closer to the top, or, you know, there's got to be some benefit for a better QB. So it's not like bang, bang, you know, but I also, the fact that it's slow is a killer. What I may do is maybe, I don't know, there's something there I want to change and fix, but this isn't going to be I don't want to do any more updates for Legend Bowl. I want this to be all Legend Bowl 2. And I want the game to feel really fresh. Okay. So I'm going to keep doing some plays here, and I'm also going to play defense. But I want to just make the game better. I want to improve the game. And, you know, if it turns out where the sales aren't there, then it is what it is. Right. I know some of you are not going to like this, and that's the hard part. And that's the thing with the options, right? There's settings, and maybe I'll have settings where I can make it slow, normal, or fast. Maybe I might do something like that. But, you know, I have time actually to hit the sprint button, right? I have time to make moves, but it really doesn't, you know, I'm playing a really, really good defense. Okay. I also want to see how the throwing works because there's 0 win right now, but I want to, you know, there's things I have to do to make sure that the throwing still works correctly and everything feels good. But even on that play, right? Let's take a look at that play. So I threw a duck. It was just a bad play overall, right? And a bad throw anyways. I had pressure coming at me again, and I was going to this guy over here. Now I managed to have enough time because the game is running slower. I actually managed to grab that guy, number 19, a little early, and I almost tried to get it. So even on plays like that, where you're the receiver or you're the defender and you're trying to go for an interception, it gives you more feel. And I really, really, really think that just makes the game more fun. Because even when I was playing the other day, like I mentioned, I was frustrated. I was annoyed. It felt like the game was going way too fast. You know, and even there, that was a bang bang play, and normally it would be so fast that you wouldn't even be able to appreciate the defensive play there. It's like bang bang. You don't even see it. One thing that I also fixed that again, I may not release this all till the next version. I'm not sure. So you're getting super early access to this. Now this isn't a crazy feature. This just it's kind of like a fix. I may do it. I may do it because it's more of a fix. But normally in the game, this has been killing me for a long time. Every time the play is over, the camera just jumps to wherever the ball is, right? So whenever the player drops the ball or the ball's dead, the camera literally just like rockets to that and like it just gets very janky. And I could never figure out, like the times I would look at it, I couldn't figure out why, and I figured it out yesterday. So I may just release that, but notice in this version, if you have the game, go back and look at yours or look at some videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. But notice when the play is dead, the camera now moves slower, pans to it. When the guy drops the ball, like right here, normally the camera just jumps and that looks so much better now. So I want to make sure that things like that are smoother. There's just a lot going on in my mind and I'm really excited about it. Like stat overlays, like I would love to be able to, I'd love to be able, like, let's just say this is the pre-play, right? Or whatever. I'd love to be able, as the guys are moving to, to the line or whatever, like really zoom in on the guy, right? And as they're, as they're moving, maybe whatever, before they go to the line of scrimmage, right? Like show some stats, show some in-game stats, right? How they're doing for the game. And we've seen a lot of that in previous games. And that's something that I want to do as well. I want to get the presentation to be better. But the game just feels, because it's slower, the game just feels so much more, it feels fun. It feels more strategic. It feels like you actually, like each play just, it feels like each play becomes, like there, I tried to do a stiff arm, but I did it way too early. But it to me, it takes what I'm used to, which is like just fighting for my life to get anything to work. And it transforms it into, like, it basically takes, let me see how I can explain this. It takes the play that you normally would do, and instead of it feeling fast and rushed and so, it's still great. I mean, like I said, people love the gameplay, but to me, it kind of takes it more of a step back and makes it more of a simulation, like gives you more control. It gives you more out of each play. You see more things happening. You actually can observe things that you couldn't really see before. And to me, that's exciting. Even with all this pressure coming at me with this pocket, that's, to me, it's not that great with these teams. Let me go to a different matchup here. And by the way, I'm playing on, I put it on superstar mode, which that's hard. Like when I was playing, I was on pro or veteran, and it was really hard when I was playing with the regular difficulty. And before, I have it on legend, QB vision, which I actually like, and that means it's not going to zoom out, right? I don't want to go to legend. I might put it on, I might just keep it on super. I think veteran probably. I'm going to keep it on superstar just to see how it plays. But, there's some things I can do with the difficulty as well. Let me get, they have a good offensive line, probably the Eagles, because they do in real life. Yeah, they're pretty good. Let's just try this. Let me see if there's any other. Ooh, that's a cool uniform. I like that uniform. But yeah, like again, I'm taking the I don't think there are a lot of devs that are fans of their games. I think that there are a lot of devs that do things for money, right? They strictly solely do, which is smart. I wish I did that. I just can't get motivated by it as much. But there are plenty of successful game developers that they literally build their games 100% based off of what the trends are, what the popular genres are, who they can target, literally sales. How many units can they push? And for me, it's the opposite. Like I've made games solely based on, you know, what I really enjoy and what I really want to play. So I'm super excited about this. And that's why I'm doing a video, because I feel like this is a really, really cool perspective. Like I'm going to try to go to, oh, see, I just got slammed. Like this is craziness. They're coming after me like hogs. And obviously, listen, playing with the NFL mod, it feels cool. Like I can't stress I can't like ignore that. But I want to do like running, because I know that, like, let's just do inside running, because inside running is one of those things where that is such a bang bang type of play normally. Let me see if I can charge up and get something going here. No. I feel like the defense is way overpowered. Let me go back to Superstar might be too hard. Let me just keep it on veteran. Maybe I'll jump to pro in a second too. But yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments. You know, I do these videos mostly for you guys and for me too. Like I'm not really trying to sell anybody anything here. I'm not trying to I know I say this, but you can tell by coming in here, this video is not going to get 50,000 views like my one video did, where I talk about how much money I made, right? People are always interested in money, 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 and all the flash. And I don't know. I can be Pittsburgh, even though I don't hate, but I don't really like Aaron Rodgers. I think he's pretty much, something's happened to him. I don't care for what the things he's done late in his career. Let's try to do another run, and let's go inside. I want to really test the inside run. Let's try one with some receivers. HB drag. So I actually have some time, even though I didn't get anywhere because I went around. I'm just playing around. I actually had way more time, you know, to at least try to find a hole. You know, the hole was closed up. And again, you know, when I first started making this game, I really didn't even want difficulties. I wanted to make a really solid, you know, game. And because when you up the difficulty, it just makes the game more challenging, you know? Like even there, like I was able to get away and I was tapping the sprint button like a madman. And, you know, let's try to do a pass. But yeah, the running lanes, the offensive and defensive line logic and AI and game, like that's so hard. Anybody who tries to make a football game, that's where they literally give up, because it's such a hard thing to do. But I want that improved. I really do. And you know, it sucks because no one's going to be like, oh, this is a great game because they made the O-line, D-line great. Like you guys may think that, or hardcore guys may think that. That was a great play, by the way. Like I really like this play. I saw that dude was open for the short pass, and look what it turned out to do. Like, and by the way, we were just looking at games that were made by AAA companies for the Super Nintendo back in the day, and their O-line, D-line interactions were actually not very good at all. They were really bad. Like you saw, they didn't even have any, that last game we were looking at, I didn't even see any kind of pressure from the defensive line. They just sat there. Even Tecmo Bowl did the same thing. Like you'd get one guy that breaks a tackle, and it's just like, not a tackle, but you know, that sheds the offensive lineman. And it's just like, it's hard to do that. This game actually isn't bad at all. I just want it to be better. and that's the fan of it in me. You know, and for you guys who've been around, you know, I obviously get burnt out. Like there's things about this game that burn me out. That was a good little spin just to get out of the way. Stiff arm. And maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you guys might watch this and be like, dude, you've been taking some crazy pills. You've been gone for too long. I don't know. Because there are times where it does feel slow, you know. But to me that's okay. It kind of just, I don't know. It just feels different. It feels good in a lot of ways. And I might just try to play a game. I don't know. Maybe playing a game's too much right now. That was a great pass, but for some reason he threw it offline. Maybe because he had pressure. Oof, he missed it. I would like to see the running game better. I would like to see those were let me try to do pro. Because the one thing that I want to look at too is whenever I change the difficulty, I want to see exactly what I'm doing, because to spike up the defense, right? To give the defense some boost. Because it can't just be about speed, right? Actually, I don't want it to be speed. I don't want the defense to be faster. I want the defense to be more skilled, you know, because if you start making everybody faster, it's kind of cheating in a way, you know? And if you feel like everyone is just faster than you and you can't ever get around anybody, I don't want that. I want the game to have legitimate speed, you know, constraints. I mean, I just came all the way back around. Look at that. Normally, I probably wouldn't even be able to have the time to do that, you know? So even to play like that, like you can just get more, you get more juice out of the plays. You get more, like, it's almost like more quality in a sense to me. If that makes any kind of sense. Like it kind of magnifies the game. And if you have a bad game, slow is not good, because you see all of the bugs, all the issues, right? You like Madden, maybe they want to go as fast as they probably can, because if they start seeing issues, if they show you the game in slow motion and you see all the warping and all the clipping and all the weird Superman type, let's do a QB option here. I don't think you can option in this game though. This is the DLC version, by the way. I'm gonna charge up, see if I can do anything. Oh, there you go. See, even that, like I was able to charge up. I was able to, even if you just watch it in regular speed, I was able to do a couple of moves there. One guy missed. I hit that guy with the shoulder. That guy totally missed, and I tried to hit that guy. You actually can take the time to really put in those strategic moves, right? I mean, people love to play coach mode. That tells me that they don't want to be on sticks. So I don't know. Like, I'm gonna dump it off. Let's see how this goes. I'm gonna try it. See, now I have just charge up, stiff arm, and I slap that guy in his mouth, right? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You have more time, and you have more strategic decision making. It's not just a all out, you know. Like even right there, that guy looked like he was open. I thought he was going to help me with the block, but he didn't. So all of the movement, whether you're looking for a block or you're looking for what path to take or what route to take or what move to make, everything slows down, and you kind of just have a more strategic game that comes out of it. You know? And again, somebody might say, you're crazy. I like the fast. I like the realistic, you know, speeds. That's fine, I guess. All I can tell you is that from playing this game and, you know, like even getting around that guy, normally I probably wouldn't even be able to do that. Look at this run, and you can still pull off big plays, you know? So I could play this all day. I might jump into a quick match, maybe play a quarter. and I'm on pro right now. Let me just pick a random team. I can do this. And see how the game feels. Now I'm on pro, right? And again, I need to look at how whenever you change the difficulty, as I mentioned earlier, I really don't want the speed to be different. And I think in these games I did bump up the speed too. I don't want that. So yeah, so the next version of this game, if this turns out to be just a DLC, which I probably won't do, because to be honest with you, DLCs don't make any money. It has to be a new game, right? It just has to be. So if I make this a new game, then I'm going to add improvements, and it's not just going to be, oh, this marketing thing, right? Like even this kick return. Look how much more time I have to really set up the blocks and pick my lanes. It just feels, to me, it just feels better. I don't know. But I do know, because like I said, I did like it for like wise open right here. Even though it's a short pass, I'll get a couple yards. I did like the way it felt in All Pro Football and in 2K5. I've always loved that. Madden didn't have that before those games came out. Madden added those sliders later on to make the game faster or slower. That was a, that was post. I try to charge up. That was post 2K, right? I know I'm doing a lot of passing here. I'm just doing Ask Coach, which even Ask Coach, that needs a whole, upgrade, right? There's a lot of Coach AI stuff that really didn't. Russell Wilson. Let's see. Is that Russell Wilson? No. Oh my God. Who is that? It is Russell. Why is Russell Wilson on? Is he on the Giants? Oh yeah, he is on the Giants. That's right. I think. I don't remember. Because who do they have? Jameis Winston. I thought that he was on a different team. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Let me actually play this legit. See if I can. See if I can actually compete here. Because on defense, it's different too, right? I haven't even played it on defense yet, but and it's crazy because when the game first got released on the Switch, I was like, oh my God, this is so slow. And you could just feel the difference from PC. But that's a different situation where the entire game is running slower. This is more, this is being done on purpose, and everything in the game is running fast, like the ticker's running fast. The rest of the game is running at a normal speed, so it doesn't feel like the game is lagging. It just feels like it's the players are moving slower. But I'm telling you, looking at the reviews, most games, people that reviewed it, they said the game's too difficult, and they weren't expecting that because it's a pixel game. And why don't they expect it? Exactly the reason why I showed you the video, because why would they? No other game did that back in the day. No pixel game has ever, I'm not going to say ever. I mean, I don't know for sure, but it looks like from my experience and looking at like the history, no games really did that back then. Not with not in 2D form, right? So I think there's something to be said about that. Now, I don't know who's covering who. This is an all-out blitz, so this is going to be dangerous. Nice. And that's one thing that I realized, I noticed yesterday when I was testing this. When I'm playing defense, I actually intercepted the ball, and it was really cool because I had the time to go, and find the receiver and make a real play on it. Like it actually felt, manageable. So So yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot, and it's just a matter of, you know, is this going to make it to the next game? Is it going to be a slider thing? I know everybody's going to say, make it a slider, make it a setting, make it this, make it that. And I freaking hate that, to be honest with you. I want the game to be what it is. Oh, shoot. I thought that guy was open. See, I couldn't see. I couldn't see. And this is another thing. This is another thing, right? If I can get the pocket right, I don't have to run back 20 yards and not be able to see anybody. I mean, if in the real world the quarterback ran back 20, like 15 yards, 10, 15 yards, now they've lost their vision too, right? Like they're running away from defenders really far away. If I could keep, let's just say I could keep the ball in this pocket, like right here, right? Look at how much more I can see. Right? You can see a lot more. You know, even if it's up here just a little bit, you could see a lot more of the play. And then it's only the deep guy that you can't see. A couple deep guys, right? So, you know, and there could also be things like I've tried that before where when the defender or where the receivers are outside of the screen, there could be a color or something that you see that kind of tells you how open they are. I don't know. There could be some kind of indicator that's there. I don't know what the hell that was. That was a wild duck. But I do know that a lot of people who wanted to try this game didn't get the game because they felt like it was way too hard. And I'm telling you, the game still feels like great for somebody like me who wants a difficult game. But it also feels like you have an actual chance now, right? So I've been thinking about taking a look at, you know, trying to adjust the game to be more of what people want, right? But I also think it's something that's good for the game. Maybe they have a point, you know? And I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not, you know, as people say, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not just doing it because I want sales or I want people to, the 17% that return it, I want them to be happy. This ain't about that. It's about maybe they're onto something. And it's not even that. I experienced that when I play the game. I'm like, this is brutally challenging. I'm not having fun getting my ass handed to me and not knowing what to do to get out of it, right? It's way too simple of a game in terms of the you know, the graphics and the fact that it's a 2D game. You know, I may even take out the whole gas thing, but the gas thing is there. The game still plays exactly the same in terms of like I can still do deep, you know, big plays. So things getting gassed like this. There you go. Perfect example. Like this guy's off to the races. But, you know, if I put some, and I know people don't probably love that, but that was a good way for me to balance out the game. You know, I may take that out altogether. I don't know. I may even just make that an option. Everybody loves options, but you know, that's the thing too. It's like when you start to create so many options, the game loses its identity, right? And it becomes more of a sandbox, right? That was a great play. I don't know why the receiver like turns like that. I don't know what that's about. I've noticed that a couple times, and it's not horrible because they do need to turn around and like look at the ball. That's probably why it does it. So it's not really a bad thing. So I don't know why that's happening though, because I don't think that they have to turn around to get the ball. Like even that, I have time to charge up. I know I'm going to be able to probably pull that off. The game just, I'm going to try to just run it inside, see if I can get a hole going. But yeah, the offensive line, I really want to take a look at that, because that's a great little run right there. You know, and it feels good. It feels like I earned it, you know. I picked a different hole because the hole that I wanted really didn't play out. But even so, I was able to get in, and it feels good to run the ball like that, right? If the game was running super fast, and again, we're only knocked down 25%. We're still at 75% of where it's supposed to be. So I'm not totally killing the speed, but it feels so much better to me. It feels like I can actually do things. I can't say it enough. Maybe maybe it's just a fresh paint of, you know, a coat of paint or whatever, and I'm excited about it. I don't know. I don't think it's something that's just that's not gonna last. I think it has. I think there's something that's there. I really do. And I know I mentioned it in the Discord, and guys are like, well, what do you mean? I like it fast, and you know, they're asking what am I doing, and they're curious, right? But tell me what you think. Tell me what you think in the comments, because there's something here. I'm gonna try to rush. Even the defenders doing the button mashing. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I might change that. I might keep that. I would love to be able to do like block sheds and different moves. But again, that's hard to pull off in a 2D game and have it feel good, you know? Like that time I actually blew it up. Like I blew the guy up. He instantly just got blown up, number 73 right here. You know, I hit him and he just fell right down. And that's part of it too. It doesn't always have to be a button mash. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I definitely want the pocket. I want better running lanes. There's a lot that can be done to the game. But I'm actually enjoying this. Yes, I'm up 7-3 and I'm on pro difficulty, right? But pro difficulty doesn't touch the ratings. Everything stays like clean and legit, like the way it was meant to be. So every player has their ratings, and nothing gets juiced up or down when you keep it on pro, right? It's like running back. Again, there's strategy there. There's a feeling of control. And again, I'm personally, like, I'm just having more fun. And I'm not trying to sell this to anybody. I'm not, really not. Yeah, and somebody's gonna say, well, that was holding. Stiff arm. Get off me, boy. Man, there's no hole. And that's okay sometimes. Like, not every team can create holes. I saw a comment, and I definitely agree. This also has been thought about before. It's just, how do you do it? You know, gang tackles, you know, double teaming people, like offensive linemen double teaming somebody. And that happens right now, actually. Double teaming does happen right now. But the one thing that I would love to do, somebody made a really, really good comment in my last video, and they were talking about different player types, right? Like, you want some guys who are more like Barry Sanders, and you want people who are just gassers, like fast dudes. You want players to feel different. I like that for sure. Like archetypes. And then you also, like, one of the things that the guy mentioned was what would be cool, which I think Tecmo Bowl 3 had it. Just because you get, like, I want defenders to, like, hold on to someone and like drag them, and then maybe they fall off. Like, have players, as they're running, they don't know, it's not always just like you either tackle me or you didn't. You know, give some more depth there, where I was gonna say, if he was gonna throw it to my guy, I was picking that thing. I want to get a pick. I want to show you guys a pick, because picks definitely feel way better in this situation. Let me move back here, see if I can grab a pick. See, I was there that time. At least I was there. Like I was able to. This is me right here. Pretty sure that was me. I mean, I wasn't physically there, but I was able to react better. But yeah, like if the ball carrier, this is a long video by the way. If the ball carrier has nice spin. If the ball carrier can get tacklers to like gang tackle them or just jump on them and try to hold them, and there's like a mini game there where you can like maybe tap the hell out of the button and try to break the tackle, like something like that I would like to see as well. So just improvements across the board. And if you start stacking up those improvements, the game just gets better. Is it a brand new game that people are going to be like, wow, this is so beautiful, it's so brand new and so awesome? No, it's not meant to be that. Like when we play Madden, is Madden brand new and beautiful? No, it's the same game with a new roster and features that they recycle, right? It's not this brand new game. And I'm not saying it to be like, a jerk or whatever. It's the truth. Like they're taking the engine and they're reskinning it, and they're adding a new roster, and they're putting some emphasis on certain new, box features. Damn it, man. That was actually a good run, and I actually had time to follow my blocks. I just got stuck. I got stuck on that. But I definitely think that there's value in where I'm going with this. I think now taking a step back, there are lessons learned from the first games, and trying to take this engine and literally, make it improve it, just improve it, learn from the things that you did that were not wrong, but just, I want the game to be fun. I want the game to be challenging. I want it to be strategic. I want you to have some success and some failures. I want you to feel like you can actually control the outcome of a game, where you're not just like, there, that was a good run, And let me know what you think about the speed. I mean, I may tweak it up a little bit. I may tweak it down a little bit. To me right now, it's feeling pretty good. But this is definitely something that I want to lean in on and take a shot at making that better. I also want to do things like on that play when the guy just threw a duck. Yes, there's some feedback, but maybe there's more visual feedback, because they're going to be like, why the hell did he throw that horrible pass? Like, why did he throw a duck like that? He was probably trying to throw, I don't know who, I think he might have been trying to throw to this guy. So I just want this game to be better, because when I jump on this game and I play it, I always get chills. I always feel, it always feels like it's fun. It feels like it's a really, really good foundation, and there's definitely value there. A lot of value. And it just needs to keep cooking. And there's so much more to improve, but the foundation is so nice. I mean, just the fact that you can mod the game and put the NFL on here, I mean, that's amazing to me. It looks so cool. And the teams that we make in the actual game are great too. Like, I like the fantasy, I just have this on because it's the start of the season, and why not? But running even feels, like I said, better. You can navigate through the lanes. You can take your time and pick the holes that you want to try to attack. But yeah, so maybe I'm letting this out too early. Maybe I'm showing people things too early. You know, that's just how I'm programmed. You know, I get excited about stuff and I want to share it. But these are the types of things that I'm thinking about. This is not going to sell, you know, this is not going to get me views. This hour-long video isn't going to get me views on YouTube, right? It's not going to get people dying to play the game with some trailer that's made out of CGI, right? It's not going to do that. This is hardcore, legitimate passion at its best. It is. And I'm not promoting myself. I'm not trying to make myself seem so great. It's just the truth. And the truth isn't always fun. The truth always doesn't sell, right? It's just the reality. And I do think that the fruits of my labor will show itself, you know. God, I had nowhere to go. I didn't know where to go, but turning around is definitely not smart. So the game is still very hard. I have it on pro right now, and I'm not killing this team, not at all. But I do feel like I have more control. And again, I do have the game on Legend where I can't see all of the receivers. The QB vision is locked up, you know, and that, you know, I can change that if I want to. I like it like that. I just want it to be, I want to be in the pocket more. I don't want to constantly be running backwards, right? But yeah, let me know in the comments your thoughts. I can literally sit here and play this all day. I really could. I'm enjoying it. The games feel kind of long. I don't know what I put it on, 5 minutes or not, but the game does feel long. Although it should feel faster, because if the game plays slower, then the seconds will go by quicker. Maybe it's just me talking so much and I've already had so much time on the video. And I'm sure that most people are gone by now. So anybody who's watching this still. Oh man, I wanted to grab that guy. I couldn't get him in time. I tried to. But even there, you get to actually see the game, you know, do its thing. Like, that's a legitimate block there, you know? Legitimate SWAT. Let's finish out the half, and then I'll jump off. But these are the kind of things I'm thinking about. Again, you know, leave your any comments, feedback, questions, whatever. This is what I'm trying to do, and I'm gonna go full Hail Mary here, pretty much. I'm trying to go deep. Maybe I'll bring this guy over here because it's a zone. B might be wide open, guys. Let's go. Oh, I'll take it though. So the game still feels great. I mean, it still feels like I don't see anything broken. I don't see it. It's not taking away anything from the game. If anything, it's just adding more. It's just creating more of that immersion, and I'm so far I'm enjoying it. And maybe, you know, let me know what you guys think. So I'll catch you guys in the next video I do. I'm not sure when that'll be. I've been kind of going a little hot and heavy here with these, so I'll probably die them off, and I need to kind of keep things, you know, under covers right now. But this is something that I'm looking at, and I think that there's promise here. So anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.